The last thing we want to do is we want to add the elapsed timer. The elapsed timer is going to be something that shows how long it's been since the player has played last. We're already getting that information sent to us from the server, so this is really only something that has to be changed on the interface side on the client. So let's open up main.js where we put the interactivity for the client, and we're going to set up an interval timer, which means we're going to run a function periodically that's going to update the timer in our code. We'll run it once every second. So in order to do that, we're going to also need to reset that timer every time we get a new game update message, because that's going to tell us that a new player has played. So in main.js, let's go to where we declare myColor, and because we're going to be presenting both myColor and the elapsed time right next to each other, let's create a variable that's going to be the interval timer, and that can go right below myColor. Then let's go to the place where we update myColor here, and when we say it is whoever's turn it is, let's go ahead and add on to the end of that some code that says elapsed time, and then we'll put a little spot in here, a span, where we can put some jQuery, we can connect to it with jQuery. So we'll make this span have an ID of an elapsed. We'll put nothing in it because we'll put all the stuff that we want in it in our jQuery code that we'll write in a second. And we'll close that span and close it with an H4. And then right before we animate changes to our board, we're going to clear the existing interval timer. And then we're going to set up a new one. So we'll say our interval timer, and we're going to use a closure here, is going to be equal to set an interval. This is something that we do with JavaScript, and so we'll have the function that we're going to write here. So I'll just leave thing there for a second so you can see what we're doing. And we're going to run this every 1,000 seconds, or every 1,000 milliseconds. So every second we're going to update our timer. Okay, so that's fine. We can do that, but we're going to need to put in our closure here, and that's going to get a little hairy. All right, and let's see. So the reason why we need a closure is because we need to send the current value of the last updated time into our closure. So we're going to create a factory function that takes the last time, and it is going to return, it's going to return a function that we're going to make. And we're going to make that function do the work of updating the UI. Okay, we'll add that in a second. And that's the function that we're going to return. And then this is the factory function that we're creating. And we're going to pass that the last move time that we currently know from our payload. And then we'll run that every 1,000 seconds. Okay. So now what work do we actually want to do to update the UI? Okay, so let's see. We're going to need to figure out how long it's been since the clock has been updated. So for that, we're going to need to create a new date object, which is the current date and time. And we're going to need to figure out how many minutes we've got. And we're going to need to figure out how many seconds we've got since that time. We'll fill that in a second. And then we're going to need to output it. So we'll add it on to the little chunk of code that we made. So we'll look for the ID of elapsed. And when we find it, we're going to change the HTML that's there to be the number of minutes we have plus colon, single quote, colon, single quote, plus seconds. And that should give us a little timer. Just so that seconds always has 2 digits, let's go ahead and make 2 versions. If seconds is less than 10, then we will add an extra 0 here so that it keeps the right width. Otherwise, we'll just do the same thing without the 0, because then it will be 2 digits. Okay, so if we could figure out minutes and seconds, then every 1,000 milliseconds, we will just update our display with what we have. So to figure out how many minutes and seconds we have, we're going to need to figure out, let's see, var elapsed milliseconds, say elapsed milli, and that's going to be equal to the current time minus the last time that we just got passed in to our closure. All right, and then minutes is going to be equal to the elapsed number of elapsed milliseconds divided by 60 times 1,000. So if it was divided by 1,000, that would be seconds. We're going to divide by 60 times 1,000, so that'll be minutes. And then seconds is going to be the elapsed number of milliseconds modulo 60 times 1,000. So that'll be the remainder of how many seconds are left over after we divide the elapsed milliseconds by minutes. And then that's going to give us how many milliseconds are left over. So we actually want to divide that by 1,000 in order to get how many seconds are left over. And then the last thing is, because we don't want fractions, we just want whole numbers in this case, so no decimal points, we're just going to wrap the whole thing in math.floor. And if we don't have any typos, let me just look through that, see if I see any. Then when we come over to our server and we go back one and we go back one, we don't have to restart our server because this is just client code. And as long as our cache is disabled, the client code should run. But we have a typo in our client code at line 358. So let's find that. 358. Looks like we have an extra or not enough parentheses. All right, try that. Reload and reload. Good. Invite our player over. Start our game, and there's our elapsed time counter. We have a problem down here, line 356. Let's see what that is. d.getTime didn't work. So D is a date object. Oh, we need to create a new date object. That's a little typo. Let's try reloading that. Go back one and back one. And restart and restart. And something else going wrong. Wow. Typo on elapsed milli. Elapsed milli, elapsed milli. Elapsed. Elapsed milli. There we go. All named the same thing. Let's try that again. Okay, still got an error there. What's my error? Let's go back. I don't like the fact that that error is there. Back to our lobby. Start over. Start over. Great, and now we've got our elapsed time clicking. I am black, it's black's turn. I click here. And the timer didn't quite stop. What happened there? We've got two timers. Did we not clear the timer? Clear timer, interval timer. Oh, we have a typo right here. Interval time. That should be interval timer. Wow, a lot of typos in this round. Come back. Restart. And play. Got our timer going. I am black. It is black's turn. Play there. It is white's turn. Elapsed time going well. Okay, great. So I think what that does is I think that's the end of our Reversi game. I think that we have everything that we wanted here from the beginning. We'll just double check that. And this kind of looks pretty good. So good luck on finishing it up. And yeah, thanks for your attention.